Yeah. Okay. I'll ask again. Rodney, you guys are known for the second half comebacks and winning close games this season. What do you work on to try to avoid the need for those comebacks?
Well, I think one, you have to really try to address, what's leading to you having to have to make those comebacks and being at a deficit at halftime. And I think, I think myself and our staff have really worked hard with really trying to convey to our guys the importance of value of taking care of the basketball. When we found ourselves in in trouble in the first half, it's been a lot of self-inflicted things in terms of us just not making simple plays and, trying to make plays that are not there for us, which leads to turnovers. And many times when you lead to a turnover, you're at some form of adversity in terms of getting back on defense, and they're converting easy baskets. So, I think sometimes it deals with not a lot, but at times our shot selection makes sure we were taking the good shots and we're having the floor balance and we're able to get back on defense. But I think between value and taking care of the basketball and our transition defense.
Jeff Barker, go ahead, please, sir.
Hey, Coach, we spent so much time over the last 2 weeks talking about this gauntlet of a 4 game stretch that you guys had. Now you had a little bit of a break, and it's not like there's really a break in competition, even though West Virginia doesn't have a ranking next to them or anything. They've won 4 of their last 5. How do you keep the mindset right for these guys that, you can't take your foot off the gas now? And just how is West Virginia an example of really just the parity top to bottom in this league this year and every year?
Well, Jeff, our approach has been the same throughout the whole season, to be honest. I mean, every game's an NCAA tournament game for us. We have a tremendous amount of respect for every opponent that we play. West Virginia has a Hall of Fame coach. It has his team playing at a very high level right now. They're scoring the basketball. They always play really hard-nosed, aggressive defense. They're a physical rebounding team. They're a team that they're 4-7 in conference, but could easily be 7-4. And they've got great pieces. They've got a really tough team, and they're playing at a very high level right now. Every team in our league, whether you're at home or on the road, could beat anybody in our league. There's no one team that can just think they're at home or on the road and think they're just going to show up and win the game. It doesn't work that way. Not this year in this league. It's the best league in the country, and every night you have to come and out compete a really top-notch team.
Kirk Bowles, go ahead, please, sir.
Yeah, Rodney, I would like to get your reaction to Texas joining the SEC early, and would you kind of welcome an escape from the Big 12 wars?
Well, Kurt, right now we're in the toughest league in the country in basketball in the Big 12, and I've been in the Big 12 for 13 years now, and I've never not known it to be a highly competitive league in basketball, and all sports for that matter. We're trying right now every day to try to compete for a conference championship, and we've got 40 minutes ahead of us right now with a really, really good West Virginia team that's playing well right now, and that's really kind of our focus right now, to be honest with you. I think in big picture, I think an opportunity for UT Athletics to move to the SEC. I think that's a home run in terms of being able to continue to compete at the highest level in all sports. And I think it's something that's going to be very valuable to our athletic department moving forward.
Joe Cook, go ahead, please, sir.
Yeah, Rodney, this is the third week in a row where you got a Saturday game followed by a big Monday game. I kind of know in the NCAA tournament that you're only going to have a day off. So do you like this stretch of games and kind of being able to replicate that type of schedule here in February?
Joe, I love it, to be honest with you, because it does prepare you for postseason play. You have a quick turnaround after playing. Obviously we have a really tough game tomorrow against a well-coached team that will be an NCAA tournament team. This is an NCAA tournament team that we're playing tomorrow on our home court. You'll turn right back around and have to play another top-notch team a day after competing against another really good team to continue to advance in the NCAA tournament. So it definitely prepares our guys for that type of opportunity in the future, and it's one that we will reference back to as well. As you approach March Madness.
Mike Harge, I believe that's you. Hidden. Go ahead, please, sir.
That is me, Scott. Thank you. Coach Terry, I wanted to ask you real quick, with the leadership and all the older players that you have on this team, what have they done to kind of help Tyrese through this time? I know he's doing different things to add to the success of this team, but his shot is not where it used to be. So what are some of the older players doing to kind of help him along the way where he can continue to have his confidence?
No, Mike, I'm proud of this group. I tell this group every day how excited I am about working with them and how much I love coaching this group and working with this group. I think this has been really a player-driven team in terms of the older guys have really looked out for the younger guys. I think the older guys have held each other accountable as well. Tyrese Hunter's still a really young player. He's in the second year of college basketball. I think he's really tried to do everything we asked him to do this year in terms of really trying to will his teams to wins. He does a lot of intangible things. I know people look at scoring and, scoring is not the end all when you're a point guard. I think when you're a point guard, I think you have to make others around you better every day, whether that be in practice and games. I think you have to show, obviously, a level of leadership. You're really the quarterback out there on both ends of the floor, whether we're, what defense we're in, what offense you're in. And then I think you're going to be measured on how much your team wins at the end of the day. Great point guards are measured at the team wins. Chris Paul's a great point guard, and people are still looking for him to get that ring. He's had an incredible career, and everything. But, Tyrese has spent a lot of time working on his shot, and scoring's a bonus. I mean, if he's able to score, 20 points in a game, I think that's great. But I think the bigger picture is, were you able to will and lead your team to wins and do all the things that it takes to lead a group in that process.
Nick Moyle, please.
Yeah, Rodney. I know you guys kind of guard by committee, but you look over the last few games, where Timmy Allen's matching up against Keontae George, Keontae Johnson, Jalen Wilson, spending a lot of time on their number one option. I'm just kind of curious, over the last couple seasons, how you've seen Timmy grow as a defender, maybe what you've specifically done personally to help him grow.
Timmy Allen's been one of those guys that over the course of his college career, he's done a little bit of everything. He's closing in, I think, a couple points shy of 2,000 points as a scorer, which is an incredible feat as a college basketball player. He has X amount of rebounds. I don't know the exact number of rebounds, but there are quite a few rebounds. So he's a guy that's done a lot in terms of putting it in the books. I think the one thing we challenged him when he joined our program was to be a complete player. We know what you've done offensively and over the course of your career. Now you want to also be seen as a guy that's a two-way player. You want to be able to compete at the highest level defensively. You want people to see you as a guy that can sit down and guard. And I think he's taken a lot of ownership in that as well. And I think you've seen that throughout the course of this year. There have been times where, he's been in the huddle, or he's coming to games or coming to practice and says, hey, I want to guard the best guy, but again, that's all about wanting to win and making a sacrifice. We know he's a proven scorer and a guy that does a lot of intangible things for us, but to come in and have a defensive mindset and say, hey, I want to guard this guy. I want to see, I want to match up against this guy. So, I mean, that's been great for our team. And I think, again, it's spread over the course of our team to have other guys want to make that same sacrifice.
Thomas Jones, welcome officially to the beat. R.T. Thomas is the new beat writer for the Statesman here. Thomas, go ahead, please, sir.
Rodney, that was probably your most extended road trip of the season up in Kansas. What did you learn about the guys, maybe off the field, off the court on that trip?
Thomas, congratulations, man. And
thanks, sir.
You're welcome. You know what? I thought that, all year long, we played through some adversity and played through some things. I mean, we played two really good teams that were well coached in hostile environments. And I thought our guys had a great approach and a great attitude toward both of those contests. We didn't play perfect, and I never asked the guys to play perfect. I just asked the guys to play hard, play unselfish, and play for one another. And I really thought they did that. 80 minutes of that in both of those ball games. We came up a little short in the second ball game. But again, we had a lot of teachable moments through wins and losses on that trip. And I thought our guys were excited about trying to come back and fix some of the areas that we need to continue to get better with. And I will say that throughout the course of this season, every time we've tried to address an area to try to get better as a team and fix an area, I think our guys have really tried hard to do that.
Ryan from our student television group. Go ahead, please, sir.
Hey, Coach Terry. It seems like every game somebody new is making a big play, whether it's Cunningham with 15 points against Oklahoma State, whether it's Bishop against, Kansas State down low. What can you attest to just new players making big-time plays like that and just kind of the overall brotherhood you guys celebrating in the locker room after the big win and that kind of stuff?
Well, Ryan, I think the toughest teams to guard are teams where on any given night, you can have a different leading scorer or someone that's going to make the big plays for you. I think it's really easy to guard teams that has one guy that you can key in on and you can take that guy away and that team's not going to be successful. And I thought all year long, and our staff has thought all year long that we were going to be a difficult guard because on any given night we could have a team that has a different leading scorer or a guy that makes big plays for us on any given night. And that's boded well for us this year. We've had a number of different guys step up and play big for us in different games. And sometimes it's not always just about the scoring. I thought in the game at Kansas State, I thought Tyrese Hunter did an incredible job defending Noel for a better part of the game. It's really hard to shut that guy down, and no one in the league has done a great job of really shutting him down this season. And I thought Tyrese's defense, although it didn't show up in the box score, and sometimes we look at it, why is he not scoring 20 points? And he's shutting the guy down over there and holding it to 10 points difference in winning and losing. I think a lot of our guys, are so committed to winning. They want to just win. At whatever it takes for us to win, this team's been willing to sacrifice to do it.
I need to push through the four last ones in the queue, so one at a time, please. Payne Williams from the Texan. Go ahead, please, sir.
Hey, Coach. How are you keeping both yourself and your team focused this time of year, of course, with all the outside noise of tournament talk and then into March, of course?
Well, we just try to stay the course. I mean, for us, tomorrow we have a team that's playing probably as good as anybody right now in college basketball over the last 5 games coming into the Moody Center. And when you have that level of competition night in and night out, you have no time to not pay attention to details, not pay attention to personnel in terms of who you're playing and the identity of the team that you're about to play. And I think our staff's done a great job of really keeping our guys having an even keel every single day in our approach in terms of what we're trying to get done in conference play. So I think that's the thing we try to instill in our guys. We don't get too high, we don't get too low, but we're just everyday guys, and we have an even keel about us every single day. And we try to do that in games likewise. I really try to instill in guys. You really should have the same demeanor if you're having a game or not having a game, a really good game. You should be that same guy.
Kirk Bowles, please.
Yeah, Rodney, kind of along those lines, you were very calm in Lawrence after that game and 36 layups given up. Were you a lot angrier behind closed doors and in practices since then?
Well, I think again in that game over at Lawrence Fieldhouse, we knew going into that game you really couldn't feed the monster, and the monster being obviously the environment and the crowd. And when you're going into that game, we had the value of taking care of the basketball, and it was something that we didn't do in the first half. And I thought we did a much better job in the second half taking care of the basketball, and we got the game kind of where we wanted it for a better part of the second half. But no, I think the thing that you try to do as coaches, I think you really try to make guys really uncomfortable in practice and get them to really understand the importance of the areas that you have to try to get better at. I thought, this week we worked really hard on trying to, value taking care of the basketball. And when we didn't in practice, tried to address it and let guys know, that this is an area, guys, that we've addressed and we talked about. We've got to continue to get better with. And, again, no one's going to play perfect. We're going to make mistakes. We can't have multiple mistakes over the course of a half. And then we can't compound that by not coming back and really defending at a high level as well. So, we've addressed it. A lot of times I say to guys, practices are made to be uncomfortable. So when you're in games, you're able to, you've already been in an uncomfortable situation. You can handle any adversity that comes your way.
Last one to Thomas Jones. Go ahead, please, sir.
Marcus Carr was in that brief slump, broke out of it against Kansas. Did y'all do anything different with him or in different sets or say anything different?
No, not at all, Thomas. I think Marcus has been a guy all year that's kind of let the game come to him, and many times throughout the course of games, a lot of times we were, as coaches, we have to step up and say, Marcus, it's your time to step up a little bit right now and take some of these shots that you're passing up a little bit. But Marcus has been extremely unselfish all year long. He's played to win and compete at a high level. And, Marcus Carr has been the same guy when he's scoring 20 points in the game as when he's scoring 5 points in the game. We've won games where he scored less than double figures. And he wasn't a guy that was out there trying to force shot or hunt shots, and I think that speaks to his experience and his maturity over the course of his career. But I really think he's really competed at a high level in terms of being an unselfish player and just competing to win at the highest level.
All, thanks for your time today. Really appreciate it, Coach. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rodney.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.